All right. Well, welcome to our Ask Me Anything today, which we're going to be talking about pay-per-click advertising. So as we all know, Amazon is becoming more and more of a pay-to-play format with the marketplace. And so I am going to be joined here today to answer your questions by guest expert Mina Elias from Trivium. And he should be joining me shortly, any minute now. But yeah, it was all worked out that he'd be joining us as we were getting started. So as we were getting started, I am super excited that you're here, but I just want to make sure, tap, tap, tap. I like to do this. Is this on? So I actually just replaced the cord. So I always have an excuse, but it's a paranoia of mine, just to make sure that the sound is working properly. So I do reserve the right to do some giveaways of certain nature if you join. So today, my 100% legitimate concern is I just swapped out the cord because I was getting reports before that my voice was kind of going in and out on the microphone. So I have a new microphone cord. It's still the same microphone, but different cord. So hopefully that fixed it. In the sound check earlier, it seemed to fix it. But I just want to make sure, because technology is great until it is not. And so we could be rewarding participation. So keep that in mind. So if you hear me, please, please, please comment. If you don't hear me, hopefully you're compelled to comment and say, hey, something's off. I don't quite hear you. So if you could comment to let us know that you can hear us. And then I'm also curious, where are you joining us from? So I'm in Palm City, Florida, which is about 30 minutes north of West Palm Beach, about an hour and a half, depending on traffic, from Miami, about 2 to 2.5 hours from Orlando. So I'm in southeastern Florida. So I'm just curious, where are you joining us from? So I will be joined here shortly by Mina Elias. So Mina, hopefully you're logging in. So I'll be excited to see you when you get here. But in the meantime, folks, hopefully you're joining us. So Claudio says, happy to see Mina today, real legend of the space. I'm excited to see Mina, who's here now. So Mina, thank you for joining us. I'll adjust my camera as well. We cannot hear you just quite yet, but I'm excited that you're here. So I was just asking the audience if they could hear me. And so I'm going through the...
We're good now.
We're good now. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
The blurriness.
Oh. My friend Mina has joined us, and my dog is walking in the background, pacing. So we might see Clifford as well. So yes. So anyway, we are live. So Mina, excited that you're here.
Thank you. You know, I love to keep things very keep you on your toes. So I log in like 1 minute after the live.
It's all good. It's all good. It was worked out ahead of time. So we knew that you were kind of going back to back. So we appreciate having you here. So for those who don't quite know you, if you could just quickly introduce yourself.
Perfect. Introduction. My name is Mina Elias, aka the Egyptian prescription, for those who don't know.
He is the prescription.
But I'm the founder of Trivium Group, which is an Amazon ads agency. Also the founder of MMA Nutrition, my supplement brand that got me into this whole space, as well as, you know, other brands that I own or invest in. My background's in chemical engineering and chemistry. Came to America 2011, studied, got bachelor's, master's, worked up the corporate ladder, hated my life, decided to start a supplement brand because I love supplements very much. Couldn't know how to sell it like in person, so decided to give Amazon a shot. Got it on Amazon, and then became obsessed with how to make it work because it was my ticket out of corporate 9 to 5. Figured it out, grew, scaled to over $1 million in revenue, and then, you know, started sharing all of my learnings on Facebook and in podcasts on YouTube and stuff like that. Became very popular, and then a lot of people started asking me to help with their PPC, you know, their ads management. I refused them until an aggregator hit me up and made me an offer, you know, that I couldn't refuse. It was an offer to train their team, but I had to prove myself by running one of their brands first. So I ran one of their brands. They loved it. They said I beat the other agencies they hired. And I figured, okay, this is probably like, I'm really good at this. This is probably something that I should be doing. And I started Trivium Group, which is the agency. And we started in 2021, now 2023, almost like 2 years later. And we are about 60 something employees, 140 brands that we, as clients, that we manage. And my goal is to add as much value, as much knowledge as possible around the topic of Amazon advertising and Amazon in general, like conversion rate optimization, click-through rate optimization, you know, marketing on Amazon, how to sell more, and just to empower people. And yeah, hoping that, you know, you guys who might be struggling the way that I was struggling when I first started will benefit from this.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing I'll say about Mina is, Mina, I've known you now for, I think, almost 3 years. It was like 2020. There was no Trivium at the time.
2020 is when we met. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You were usually in like, I think it was your dining room or something at the time.
Yeah. It was the living room. Yeah.
Living room. Yeah. And you've developed quite the following and quite the agency, and so kudos to you, because you've definitely been very giving with the knowledge that you have, and you have a lot of knowledge when it comes to PPC. So, folks, if you have any questions about PPC, I would suggest start dropping them into the comments, because I'm going to take them somewhat in order that they were received. And in the last couple of weeks that we've done this, we've run out of time. So sooner you get your questions in, the sooner they will be answered. So real quick, I just wanted to give a a thank you to Claudio, who said he could hear me. And I for hope said he could hear me. So just before I had Mina to validate that he could hear me, I just wanted to make sure somebody could hear me. So, and I for hope was joining us from Australia. Kevin Hawthorne is joining us from Lakeland, Florida. I almost said Kevin Hoffman, but I know a Kevin Hoffman who lives right now. Anyway,
Another Kevin.
I shouldn't be dropping in names.
A lot of Kevins.
There are a lot of Kevins. There's a lot of Kevins out there.
You're in Florida, Kevin?
I am.
Are you coming to Seller Summit in May?
I am. I will see you there. I will see you there.
Amazing. I'm excited. That's great.
Also be at Scale for E-Tail on
the Miami one?
In Miami, yeah.
Very cool. I was just at the Los Angeles one, so I will not be in the other ones.
I'm sure that's a little bit more of a drive because you're
it's only a 5.5 hour flight.
5.5 hour flight. Nothing.
Not too much.
Just an 11-hour round trip.
Yeah.
Plus airport time. But I also got folks joining us from La Paz, Baja Sur, Mexico. Hopefully I said that right. Toronto, Canada. Pakistan. Liverpool, UK. Loud and Clear in Ohio from Pakistan. So for all of you who I just mentioned who either said where you're from or validated my my ongoing fears of no one being able to hear me, you can just email Kevin at myamazonguy.com and I'll get you access to our PPC course on Mag School for free. I'll send you a coupon code. So just email Kevin at myamazonguy.com. Please remind me why you're emailing me because that'll happen sometimes. I'll say, oh, I'm going to give such and such away for free. And they're like, hey, I won. I'm sorry. Refresh my memory.
Or it usually would be like this. Hey, emailing you just like you asked me to.
Right. Like, what did I ask you to do?
Bro, forget about it.
Yes. So just say what it was. We're on the honor system. I can always go back and watch the replay, but we're on the honor system. So anyway, let's start getting into some questions. How does that sound, Mina?
I love it. I'm excited. I'm ready. Guys, please ask more questions. Take full advantage of this, right?
Exactly.
We spend millions a month on Amazon ads. We squeeze like everything that we can out of those budgeting like dollars, right? Whether it's inventory management, whether it's reviews, whether it's PPC, DSP, organic ranking, click-through rate optimization, conversion rate optimization. I am like leaving no stone unturned, and I'm aggressively. The beautiful thing is I can aggressively test with hundreds of thousands of dollars spread across so many different brands. It's a small impact and get a lot of answers quick and get data quick. Same as with my Amazon guy. That's why I think you guys are very successful because you're learning so much from all these different brands that you guys are managing. So ask everything. Please ask everything. Cool. Should we get started?
Yes, let's get started. So Muhammad asks, hello, sir. Thank you for giving us such great support. Please tell me how to be indexed on those keywords, which we cannot add in our listing because our listing already has too many keywords.
Yeah. So if you have maxed out your title, your bullet points, and your backend search term, you still have the A+ content. You have the meta, what is it called? The meta tags or something?
Yeah, like the meta description of
the meta description of all the images in your A+ content. You also have questions on your listing. So you can ask questions from your buyer account and then answer them from your seller account. And if you include those keywords, they do rank. What I do notice is a lot of people will do this. Let's say I'm selling an electrolyte powder and I know that Liquid IV is a big brand. I'll have 10 people ask, how does this compare to Liquid IV? This product or Liquid IV? Is Liquid IV better than this? Or is this better than, why is this better than Liquid IV? And then, we answer, well, the reason that we are different from Liquid, obviously don't want to, say something bad about someone, but say the reason we're different from Liquid IV is because
they have lawyers.
Yeah, exactly. They have a lot more money than we do. So, yeah. But that's the way that I would go about it. Also try running ads, like PPC. I know PPC doesn't always work, but you can try. You can always try, PPC and a combination of the things that I just mentioned.
Awesome. All right. So we also have less of a a question and more of an aspiration. Mina, I'll be able to afford you soon. So
Take everything that you learn, implement it consistently, and you'll have no problem.
exactly. You want to, it's all about having goals. And and one of your goals as an entrepreneur should be to replace yourself. And so if it's with
In
Mina
everything.
and his team, that should be part of it, or, whatever the case is. All right. So Jaleel Penner asks, what is the best way to advertise when dealing with variations by size, specifically in the mattress category? I have it separated by size right now in terms of keyword bidding strategy.
Okay, so two things to cover: size specific keywords. Number one, take all of your keywords that have any sizes at all, and they should only target the size variation. So if it's queen, any keyword that has the word queen in it should like when you create the campaign, the only SKU that you're adding in there, the only variation is the queen. Now, second, what about all the general stuff? Mattress topper, this, that are very, very broad. What I would do is I would take all of the all of the sizes and put them in the campaign. So let's say it's, you have a mattress topper campaign, with the mattress topper keyword, add all of your variations, run it, and wait, like let's say 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then go and look at like when you click on the campaign, the first tab is going to say ads. It's going to show you all of your different variations and their performance, the number of impressions they've gotten, click-through rate, conversion rate, ROAS, sales, all of these different things. I suggest the keyword with the best click-through rate or the best sales, sorry, not the keyword, the ASIN, the variation with the best click-through rate or the best sales, that's the one that you keep running. So you pause the other ones and you keep that one running. What's going to happen is when someone types in mattress topper, they're going to show the variation that based on history and based on data is the most likely to convert. This applies to all variations, like all like products with variations is, if it's a variation specific keyword, only advertise that variation. But if it's a broad keyword, that can, like, let's say it's something and you have 5 different flavors. It's a protein powder. You have chocolate, vanilla, chocolate, peanut butter. What are you going to do in that case? Whichever flavor starts driving the best click-through rate, which means it sends the most traffic to your listing, try advertising only that one. And again, it's going to be a test, right? So you're looking at your results from that campaign, and then you're going to pause the variations and keep the best one in your opinion, and then look at the new results. And if the new results are better, good. If the old results are better, turn things back on and maybe test a different ASIN.
Awesome. All right. So Karan asks, I already have my own personal Amazon seller account from where I sell my own FBA products. How do I manage other client accounts? Do I create new seller central account? Is it even allowed? Please give me suggestions. That's probably a follow-up question.
Comment. Anyways, so there's 2 options. Option number 1, which I do, is have them give you user permissions to their account, and then you log in and you manage it like it's your own account. Option number 2 is have a new account that is for like your agency or your company, whatever, and then they can give that one user permissions. But that's it. We have user permissions to hundreds of brands, no issues.
Yeah, and one of the things I think can trip people up is the user permissions, even though sometimes they talk about creating an account, but they're really creating a login. So when Amazon talks about, accounts and people get in trouble for operating multiple accounts when they shouldn't, it's really, they're talking about seller accounts with a seller ID, not a login, because you can have a login that you use on multiple Amazon seller accounts. But what you don't want to do is log in, ask the client for their password, and log in as them. That's where you're going to get into trouble. Like,
I don't think you're going to get into trouble. I just don't think, it's a liability. You could get sued, and I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't log in. I would just say, hey, give me user permissions. So they can also monitor what you have access to. They can never say, oh, you messed around with my bank account because you have permissions.
Right, exactly. So that way, if somebody hacks into their account from the same state you're in, and like, oh, somebody in Florida logged in and changed my bank account information. You're like, I don't have access. So there's that
Exactly.
too. So there's a variety of reasons why you would want to use secondary user permissions, and it's pretty simple for them to do.
It takes 2 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So PPC landscape hasn't changed much. No new groundbreaking technique strategy. Latest is I'm a big fan of broad modified. I see Mag likes to do dynamic up and down bids for mature campaigns. What are your thoughts?
I honestly have not seen any conclusive like things for like dynamic up and down or down only. I know that up and down spends more than down only. So what I would do is split test. And I've seen certain campaigns do better with up and down after we turn them from down only to up and down. I've seen other campaigns do worse. So there's no like one size fits all. If you have mature campaigns, try it out. You go from down only to up and down, and see what happens before and after. And if the after is better, great. If the after is not better, then go back.
Well, that's one of the things with Amazon. At the end of the day, just test it. And like you said, if the results aren't better, go back to what you were doing. If the results are better, keep doing more of that.
Yeah. So one comment on the PPC landscape hasn't changed. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are looking for these little like hacks. If that's what you're looking for, sure, nothing's changed. However, things are now a lot more, I guess, like competitive. So you should be actively tracking the number of impressions that you're getting, your click-through rate, over time, your conversion rate over time, your cost of session per session. So how much are you spending for each session that you're bringing into the listing, which ties into your your cost per session, and your conversion rate, your unit session percentage, ties into your cost of acquisition. You should be trying to grow your sales as much as possible while maintaining or reducing your cost to acquire each customer. It's logic, right? Obviously, all of us want more revenue. All of us want a cheaper cost to acquire each customer. So you should have a continuous process of how to drive more traffic at a cheaper rate. Now, this is going to come from constantly testing different keywords to get ones with good ROAS. Also, having very tight auditing on your existing keywords, so that anything that's spending money not generating revenue, you kill it. You also want to constantly improve your organic rank, because that's going to drive more traffic to your listing at no cost. So that's on the ad side, and this is something that I don't see. I mean, the PPC landscape hasn't changed much, but I don't see people thinking like that. The second thing is, as you're tracking your growth in impressions, are you also increasing your click-through rate? Are you split testing different factors? Because at the end of the day, your PPC does not generate sales. Your PPC advertises your product, and it can generate impressions. Okay, and a certain number of those impressions will convert into a click and a session, and clicks and sessions that separate them, right? Because clicks are clicks by a person on an ad. Sessions is a unique Amazon account coming into your listing. So if you notice that your ratio of clicks divided by sessions is increasing, or let's say your ratio of clicks to sessions ideally should be 1-to-1. It's impossible, right? Because Kevin is going to type in electrolyte powder, click on my ad, and then he's going to type in electrolyte supplement, see my ad, he might click on it again. That's one session, 2 clicks. So ideally, if you notice that your clicks are a lot more than your sessions, that could be because you're advertising in multiple placements, the same keywords, and it's the same people clicking on your ads. So that's one thing that could definitely reduce your spend while maintaining your number of sessions. Okay. And then as your impression grows over time, if you're not split testing different factors which affect your click-through rate, like your main image, your price, your reviews, your star rating, coupons, promotions, lightning deals, make sure that you always have the fastest shipping time. All of those things can affect your click-through rate. So, Karan, are you split testing your main image and your price? And if so, how often? Because you're saying the PPC landscape hasn't changed. Okay, what about click-through rate optimization? What about conversion rate optimization? The rest of your images, the videos on your listing, your bullet points, your A+ content, your from the brand A+, what is it called? Brand story A+ content. questions on the listing, Amazon posts, videos on the listing, images in the reviews. All of these things are things that will take your same traffic and convert it into more sales. So PPC is not going to result into sales. PPC and click-through rate optimization and conversion rate optimization all together will result into more sales. So just want to kind of highlight that, because I know if you're looking at PPC landscape, we have campaigns, we have keywords. It's the same shit, right? But it's the goals that's what what you really need to be thinking about. So sorry I went on a little bit of a longer response to this question.
No, but that's a good point, because I think we always have to be sharpening the saw and looking for new ways to get just a little bit better.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sure a lot of people are probably familiar with who Rochester Bannister is. So he is the guy that first ran the 4-minute mile, and scientists had said you could never run a 4-minute mile. It was physically impossible, and they had all these reasons why. Now, you wouldn't win the state championship in high school with a 4-minute mile. I could never run a 4-minute mile, but there's people who can, that are playing at a high level, because it's now become possible, and way underneath that, when it comes to timing. So you got to look for ways to constantly be improving and not just accept, oh, this is just the way it is. All right, next up, when you optimize your PPC when launching, how many days or clicks do you wait to decrease or increase a bid? If you increase or decrease a bid, what percentage or amount do you use to go up or down?
Very good question. So I don't look at clicks or days. I look at a target spend. So if I have a $30 product, if I spend $15 and then make a sale on the 16th, or let's say $15.01, I would make a sale. That would be a 50% ACOS. I know basically, if I'm hitting a 60% ACOS, then I'm probably gonna be at a 15% TACOS, and it's whatever, right? Around that area, I'm fine. So what I will do is I'll wait until a keyword spends that amount of money, which is $15 in spend and no sales, and then lower the bid. If it's an auto, broad, or phrase, or expanded ASIN, where you can't lower the bid because it's a lot of different keywords, I'll just add it as a negative, right? And again, this number is chosen by me arbitrarily. What you can do is you can always start looser. So if your product is $30, you can wait until it's $25 and no sales. Because maybe if you start doing $15 and no sales, you're like, damn, I'm not able to grow. So you have to give it a little bit, make it a little bit looser, and then it's at $25. Maybe it makes one sale. So that, the ACOS is pretty bad, but at least you're making sales, and then you can refine it over time. And 99% of the time, a huge reason why your ACOS is bad is because your conversion rate is low. Obviously, targeting the wrong keywords is one thing, but an improved conversion rate will significantly improve your campaigns. So for the ones that are newer, it's usually a conversion rate. So anyways, $15 in spend, for a $30 product and no sales. If it's auto, broad, phrase, or expanded ASIN, I'll add it as a negative. If it's exact or product targeting, I will lower the bid, usually by 5 cents. 5 cents. If it's spending a lot very quickly, maybe 10 cents. And this is at any bid level, at any cost per click, because I'm just trying to iterate. My goal is, the way that Amazon advertising works, this is the page. You have top of the page, middle of the page, bottom of the page, page 2. So I'm trying to move across the positions. Okay, I'm gonna go from here, go down here, go down here. Okay, as I lower the bid slowly, I go from the top of page 1 to the middle of page 1, and then I wait and see. Maybe in the middle of page 1, my results are better. Okay, it didn't work. Let's go to the bottom of page 1. I wait and see. Let's go to the top of page 2. I wait and see. So my goal, if you lower by too much, some people say, I'll lower by 15%. Okay, great. So a $3 bid, you lower by 15%, that's 45 cents, right? So you go from $3 to $2.55. That could take you from page 1, top of page 1, to bottom of page 2. And now you skipped all of these positions that maybe at the bottom of page 1 you were going to be profitable, because someone in the top is just browsing, they don't care, but they make it to the bottom of page 1, they're actually interested in buying. So that's why I do it like that. Hopefully that answers your question.
No, that's a good point. And what's the saying? The best place to hide a dead body is on page 2.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
Depends on the category, I guess.
exactly.
The best place to hide a dead body. I love it.
All right. Lawrence asks, what do you guys use to host images for flat files, post image, or IMGUR? Don't seem to work anymore. Any
I use
thoughts there?
Shopify. I
Shopify?
use Shopify, yeah.
I've never used it for Amazon, but I've used Airtable for similar things because Airtable will give you hosted links for attachments. So it kind of works the same way. So maybe try Shopify.
I use
or
Shopify
Airtable.
because I have a product like I'm selling on Shopify anyways. So I'm like, yeah, like let's upload our entire images all on Shopify and it'll be hosted there.
And that's a good point because it's already someplace you're going to want to put it anyway. So,
Yeah.
All right. Claudio asks 1 out of 2 part question. We're spending quite a lot of money on advertising for a keyword that defines the niche, but not our product. It's been a high search volume, but conversion rate is around 7%. It's a toy subcategory. Is it worth it to lose a bit of money to rank for this high search volume keyword? We've just made page 1, or we focus on very specific keywords for much lower volume, but also lower costs. This could be a controversial question.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what say you.
I have a non-controversial answer.
Okay.
So, yeah, so this is a very common occurrence, right? And the reason it's common is because everyone thinks if you rank organically on the top of the page 1, you're going to get a lot of traffic. So invest in spend PPC, invest in ranking organically. You get up there, then it's going to be all worth it. Okay, so potentially, yes, there is a possibility where that works. There's also a possibility where that doesn't work. So with that being said, unfortunately, because it's not a clear yes or no, you're going to have to test. The way that I would do this is right now you just made it to page 1, right? You can stop now, scale back your ads, right? You know how much you're spending on that keyword, cut it down, and then wait 1, 2, 3 weeks and see what happens to your sales and see what and by the way, don't look at what happens to your organic rank because that's irrelevant, right? Look at what's happening to your sales and your total dollar amount in profit. That's what really matters. A lot of people are like, oh, page one organic. I'm like, relax. We're optimizing to get you the highest number of sales and the highest number of profits. It doesn't matter where it happens. We're just gonna make it happen. And so you can lower your ad spend on that keyword. You track your organic rank, all this stuff. But look at what's happening to your sales and profits. If they're unaffected, then you probably don't really need to be there. You could be lower. If you start seeing a drop in the revenue, then it was probably helping. And especially if that drop coincides with your drop in organic ranking. Don't drop too quick. Drop it gradually over time. And if you notice, like, here's my spend on that keyword, it's going down. Here's my revenue, it's going down. Here's my organic rank, it's going down. Okay, then you know that the organic rank and the spend on that keyword and your revenue are all tied together. So then I would go back and I would start spending more, go through the pain of ranking organically. And once I'm there, again, slowly try and come down. If you come down and things are fine, that's cool. If you come down, you start noticing your organic rank goes down and you start losing sales again, then again, your North Star should be your profit, your dollar amount of profit. It could be that keeping you up on the top of page 1 for that big, broad organic keyword is just hemorrhaging so much money in the ranking that the second that you stop spending the money, your rank starts tanking. And as a result, your sales go down. But those are sales that you could have never afforded anyways. So sometimes it might be best to be like, okay, we can't really afford to keep wasting money like this on this keyword. We need to find another way. And then go after the very specific keywords with much lower search volume, but also lower ACOS. By the way, I made all of my money on the specific keywords. And later on, as my reviews went up and my conversion rate and all this stuff went up, I was able to make a little bit more money on the broader ones. But I made all of my money on the specific keywords. So I don't think it's wrong. But this is exactly what I would do to test is it worth spending that money to be in page one, or should we scale back down?
Awesome. Lawrence says, sorry, my question wasn't for PPC. That was about the image hosting. No reason to apologize. Mina even said himself, he loves answering all kinds of questions.
I'm here to answer every single question.
All right. VY is from Detroit. My wife is from Dearborn. So if you ever meet somebody from Michigan, they'll usually point to their hand, unless they're a Yooper who's from the Upper Peninsula, which is the top part of Michigan. All right. Moise says, I've already got 4 free courses on MAG anniversary. Well, glad you took advantage of that special we had going on a couple weeks ago. Please cover profitability of PPC. That's kind of a broad topic. Any quick things come to mind you'd like to share there, Mina?
Yeah. First thing, obviously, about profitability of PPC, your PPC will become a lot more profitable when your conversion rate goes up. So put an equal amount of effort into getting reviews, testing your price, and then improving everything on your listing. Split testing all of the different aspects of the listing to see if you can get a little bit better conversion rate. Because if your conversion rate is 10% and your ACOS is 70%, then and your conversion rate goes to 20%, your ACOS will go down to 35%. Hypothetically. Yeah. So your tacos definitely will. Your tacos will get cut in half. So just know that is the most powerful thing, when it comes to profitability of the PPC. Now, profitability of the PPC comes down to 3 core things. Okay. Number 1 is spending money on keywords that are profitable. Number 2 is not spending money on keywords that are not profitable. And number 3 is organic rank. When you have higher organic rank, you're more likely to drive free traffic to your listing, which can result in sales, which overall will make you more profit. If you spend money, if you find all of these keywords that are profitable, so part of your strategy is to be constantly launching broad and phrase and expanded ASIN campaigns, and identifying keywords that were profitable in those campaigns, search terms and ASINs that were profitable in those campaigns, and then relaunching them into their own campaigns in different match types to continue to try and replicate the results. The goal is to, you're launching and trying to capture every single keyword that you can find that's profitable, because the more profitable keywords that you have, you're accumulating more profitable PPC, right? You like if you have 10 keywords, 2 of them are profitable, 8 are not profitable, you have not profitable PPC. If you have 100 keywords, 70 of them are profitable, 30 are not profitable. Now you have profitable PPC, right? Because you have 70 now. So the goal is to keep launching and finding more profitable keywords. And then the third pillar, which we talked about, which is the not spending money on any not profitable keywords, which means if you have a auto broader phrase campaigns or expanded ASIN, which you have one keyword and it shows for many different keywords, having a very tight system of like, if it spends $15 and no sales, add it as a negative. If the ACOS is above 85%, add it as a negative. For product and exact and maybe category, if it spends X amount of money and no sales, I'm going to lower the bid, and I'm going to keep lowering it until it's profitable or doesn't spend. If it has a high ACOS, I'm going to lower the bid, and I'm going to keep lowering the bid until it's profitable or doesn't spend. Here's a secret. Helium 10 is coming out with a new dashboard, okay, that I've been helping them with. And basically, it will show your organic rank, your sponsored rank, and how much money you're spending on a keyword in a graph. Yes. I've been fighting for this for a while.
Is that at all levels, or is that the Atomic level?
I don't know yet. I mean, I don't know.
More details to come, but
it's more of a business question. I'm just trying to help on the product side.
No, that's awesome.
So as you start lowering your sponsored rank, your ad spend will also go down, and you can see as your ad spend goes down and as your sponsored rank goes down, are you converting or are you not converting, and are you saving money, and is your profit going up? So those are the 3 core pillars: increasing your organic rank, or let's start with number 1, increasing your conversion rate, because that alone will make a difference. Number 2, or let's say 1.5, which is your click-through rate, what I've noticed is as your click-through rate goes up, your cost per clicks go down. As your click-through rate goes up, your cost per click goes down. It's almost like Amazon gives you a discount for like scale. Like, oh, like you guys 5 clicks, it's $2 a click. You have 50 clicks, it's $1.7 a click, something like that. So you will naturally save money just by having a better click-through rate. And then we go into, okay, increase your organic rank. You could do ranking campaigns or whatever. I'm pretty sure that me and you have done in the PPC Mastery Summit a whole thing on using PPC to rank organically. So that's one. And then like launching campaigns consistently with profitable keywords. Number one is identifying those keywords, and then number two is launching them, and then hoping that they do well. And number three is auditing any keywords that are not profitable. If it spends money, doesn't make sales, cut it right away.
Sounds like a plan. And you set me up to say the PPC Mastery Summit is coming up soon, May 16th through the 18th. And Mina will be a speaker yet again at the PPC Mastery Summits.
Should I say my topic?
Go for it.
So my topic is a live audit of an account. So basically, exactly what you need to do to audit your own account, step by step, every single piece. And I'll talk about everything that I look for and how I would do things differently, step by step.
Awesome. I'm excited to see it.
Me too.
Yes, and that'll be coming soon because I get to see them ahead of time because we record them together.
I love it.
All right. So I for hope, when I find converting search terms with low ACoS and high sales from broad match and put them into their own exact match campaign, they suddenly go 20 plus clicks and no sales. Why?
Okay, I'll tell you why. So this is common. This is a very common occurrence. A lot of times we launch broad and auto and phrase campaigns and expanded ASIN. And then you find a keyword that's very profitable. And you're like, okay, makes sense. Like I'm going to take that keyword and launch it in its own exact campaign. And then the results are different. It doesn't make sales. This is just a common occurrence. And it happens because like, Amazon's algorithm, it's like not really controllable. So that keyword in your auto or broad campaign could be showing to a certain audience. And when you launch it exact, could be showing to a different audience at a different time. And as a result, you get different results. So this is very, very common. And this is the reason that I say, if you ever find a keyword that a search term that's converting with high sales, never negative it. Keep it running because you don't know that when you launch it in its own campaign as exact, will it ever work? So yeah, I'm sorry, but this is kind of just how it is. What you could do is if that happens, pause that keyword and then launch it again. And then maybe you hit a different audience.
Yeah, sometimes it just, the algorithm does funny things. All right. So VY says, am I doing okay? I feel like there's some context to the question missing. And I know the last thing VY said, because I looked at the chat, was Detroit. So if you're in Detroit, we would come down to Florida. There's a lot of people from Michigan and Florida. The water's great down here. All right. Adna, and Michigan's great too. I've been there. It's nice, especially during the summertime. My sponsor rank is 2 and organic rank is 1 on a keyword, but Search Query Performance Report says I have a 7% brand impression share and 25% brand click share. How can I improve impression share?
25%. So you have a 7% brand share, 7% brand impression share, and 25% brand click share. How can I improve my impression share?
That could be the date range you're looking at too. Because if you're at number 1 organic and 2,
that's so weird. That is
weird. And there's always these weird anomalies
because I would expect your click share to be like lower than your impression share or something. Because it's weird. Honestly, that's weird. It's a weird case. You can't do anything to improve you can't do anything to change your impressions. If you're already organic rank number 1 and you're already sponsored rank number 2, like there's not much you can do. But there's potentially right? And I'm not saying that that's a good thing to do, but if you really wanted to launch your increase your impression share, you could launch sponsored video and headline search ad for that keyword, which could do that. But I don't think that that's going to help your sales, right? I think the question that you should be asking yourself is, how do I increase my brand click share, which is through main image testing, price testing, getting more reviews.
Yeah, and I'm wondering too, like, are you looking at like last month's report or, the last quarter report or something? And recently you've made some changes to bids or your main image or something. Yeah, because something doesn't quite add up. I mean, we believe you. It's just there's some anomaly, or just the algorithm's weird.
It's Amazon's data. It's not right. It's not accurate. It's not always accurate.
Right. As much as they'll say it's accurate, sometimes there's something doesn't match up in some warehouse.
No platform, no big platform's data is 100% accurate.
Right. There's always going to be something weird.
Yeah. The only thing that you can count on being accurate is spend and revenue, because you can track every single order to an address. You can track every single dollar because it gets charged to your card or your revenue. And that's the only thing that you can take to the bank. Everything else, your organic rank that you see on Helium 10, and your search query performance report, and your number of sessions, all of this stuff, how can you make sure that it's accurate? What if there's mistakes, glitches?
Yeah,
can't tell.
Well, and sometimes I use the example of if you're a pilot, flying a plane, like the instruments they have in front of them, some multi-million-dollar airplanes, oftentimes they're not 100% accurate, but they're accurate enough that the pilot can make decisions of, are we on the right course at the right speed, at the right level? So you kind of have to look at your data that way too, a lot of times. All right, Stephen J., when do you not segment converting keywords from broad into exact? When do you not negate it in the broad after segmenting? So I think you kind of answered this question because you were saying you don't negate it in the broad after segmenting, which I would agree
never negate anything that's working. Only negate keywords that are spending money, not making sales, or have too high of an ACOS. But that's it. And then when do you not segment converting keywords from broad to exact? I always do. I always take a keyword that's converting well in broad and launch it in different match types, phrase and exact, to just give it more chances to convert. That's all. Actually, if I have a keyword electrolyte powder in broad, and the search term is electrolyte powder for women, I will take that keyword and launch it in all match types, broad, phrase, and exact, to give it the maximum amount of chance for it to convert more.
Love it. All right. Suleiman asks, hello, Mina and Kevin. I have a couple of basic questions. I've watched many courses of PPC, but I don't have that kind of confidence. How should I start running a PPC campaign? Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, and then would you please repeat your email, Kevin? Kevin at myamazonguy.com.
All right. So I need to, okay. So I need to send you the sheet, the analytics sheet. First, I would start filling out the analytics sheet that I have, right? Because it's going to start telling you your spend and your sales and your units and your sessions and everything and your profit over time. The goal is the bulk and cut diet, right? Which is the goal of PPC is to drive as much traffic to your listing in the cheapest way possible. So since you're starting out, the basic thing is you want to drive traffic. You don't know which traffic is going to be good. So you do the auto campaigns. You break them up into 4: close match, loose match, complements, and substitutes. I would start with close match and substitutes if you're limited on budget, because they convert better. Then I would take your main keyword. Let's say take your top 5 main, most relevant, high search volume keywords. One keyword, one campaign. One keyword, one ad group. One campaign, one ad group, one keyword. Broad and phrase and exact. So if you have 5 keywords, that's going to be 15 campaigns. Campaign budget $100. Bid, start with a normal bid. You can always start low and work your way up. And the broad and phrase are going to help you, and the auto are going to help you discover some keywords. The exact is just going to target those keywords to start building relevancy. I would do maybe a low-hanging fruit campaign. So I would go into Amazon, type your main keywords, search on the top right, sort by newest arrivals. take some of those new arriving products that are look pretty bad and whatever, or maybe products with bad reviews, start targeting them because they're easy wins. Now the goal is for you to start spending money and drive people to your listing. And the first goal is, okay, let's just get more people, more sessions, and more sales. So you start launching those campaigns and you start getting spend and you start getting sales. And then next is like, okay, let's clean up the things that didn't work. That's the cutting phase, the optimization phase. So bulking and scaling phase, and then cutting and optimization phase. The cutting optimization phase, any of the keywords in auto broaden phrase, the search terms that are spending money and not making sales or have a high ACOS, add them as a negative. Any any keywords that are spending money in exact or product targeting and or have a high ACOS and not making sales, lower the bids. So now you're spending less money, you're cleaning up the stuff that didn't work, and so you should be left with less ad spend and relatively the same sales. Probably you're going to drop a little bit in sales, and then you repeat that process again. So when you're scaling, now the first time you launched a set of basic campaigns. The second time when you're scaling, you take all of the keywords that the search terms you found in auto, broad phrase, expanded ASIN, extract those, launch them in their own campaigns. I would do no more than 5 keywords in a campaign. So one campaign, one ad group. The reason I do one ad group, not multiple ad groups, is because the budget splits weird when it's multiple ad groups. So I keep it focused into one ad group, and then no more than 5 keywords. The reason that I don't do more than 5 keywords is I notice when I do 10 or 15, the top 5 will get the spend, and then the other ones won't get any spend or impressions. So it's like wasting them, in a campaign where they're not getting any attention. So one campaign, one ad group, 5 keywords, $100 budget. Start with low bids, and you can work your way up. And, hopefully some of those keywords start converting. And then you launch and launch and launch and launch and try and find more keywords that are converting. And then once you've hit your limit, you're like, okay, I've spent, as much as I want to. My profit is down because of it's some of the keywords are not profitable. Let's optimize again. Usually the scaling phase is a week or two, and the optimization phase is a week or two, sometimes 3 weeks. Because I want to hold that high profit for a while, and that's it. That's how it works. That's it on a
Awesome.
very basic way.
And at the end of the day, just get in there and start doing stuff. You can study till the cows come home, but until you actually get in the arena, you will never learn what it's like to master PPC. All right. So this is an interesting question here. To ensure top of search placement, which is better, 20-cent bid plus 400% multiplier equals $1, or 50-cent bid plus 100% multiplier equals $1?
The second one.
Second one. Okay.
Yeah. The Amazon, from what I've seen, prefers the higher bid.
The higher starting bid.
Yeah, because think about it. If you have a higher starting bid, you're also going to spend more money on the rest of search.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Because the strategy that people would use, the lower bid, is if they're just trying to really
So don't spend any money. Don't spend any money in rest of search, but only show up in the top of the search. So Amazon's like, oh well, this guy is willing to spend money on the rest of the search. He deserves a better position.
He's going to spend money elsewhere that we can collect. So, and sometimes rest of search just does better depending on your product.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. By the way, I don't know if you saw my latest reel on Instagram. We had a client, and he kept saying, I want to be ranked number 1 organically. I want to be ranked number 1. Put us in position number 1 sponsored. I said, okay, cool. We were position 4 sponsored, and we were doing great. We went to position 1 sponsored. We started spending so much more money, and our organic rank actually dropped because the conversion rate was worse, because a lot of the people who click on the first or sponsored rank are window shoppers.
Yeah.
They're whatever. What's this
product? I'm curious. That looks good.
Yeah. And what happened is, after we started, when we were doing position 4 sponsored, we were doing amazing. We went to position 1 sponsored, and it really, really hurt us. And then we had a call, and he's like, oh man, what happened? Everything became bad. I'm like, let's look at the results. Everything was good up until you hit position 1 sponsored. The second you hit position 1 sponsored, everything started going downhill. It literally, the ad spend was like a straight line like this going up, and organic ranks started going down. And I'm like, okay, let's look at the click-through rate for that specific keyword and let's look at the conversion rate for that specific keyword, and we noticed that the conversion rate went down and the click-through rate went down for that specific keyword the second that we hit sponsored rank number 1. I said, there you go. That's what happened. And so for everyone who's married and in love with sponsored rank number 1, be careful. Organic rank number 1, yeah, of course, because you don't pay any money. Sponsor rank number 1, be careful.
Right, and you don't get a trophy that you can take to your bank and say, I'd like to deposit.
I'm rank number 1.
Rank number 1 for sponsored products.
Yeah, exactly.
So, unless it brings you sales and profit, of course.
Yeah.
All right. So how will I know how many clicks are equivalent to my conversion rates? My example is 47 orders divided by 800 clicks times 100 equals 5.87 conversion. How many clicks are equivalent to a 5.87 conversion rate? We're asking us to do some algebra here.
Yeah. How can I know how many clicks are equal to my conversion rate? So 47 clicks, 47 orders divided by 800 clicks. Okay. So I think it's simple, right? I think you take your number of clicks divided by your number of orders, and you get the number of clicks per order, right? So that's how many clicks you need per order. And then if you want to test the different conversion rates, I guess you have to take how many clicks do you have per session, right? So you do clicks divided by sessions, which is click per session ratio, and your conversion rate is the number of units divided by units as percentage is the number of units divided by the number of sessions. So number of units divided by the number of sessions is your conversion rate, and then your clicks divided by your sessions is your click per session. So you're gonna have to click per session, units over sessions. These sessions both in the denominator. So you're gonna have to do sessions over clicks, right? So sessions divided by clicks is the number of sessions per click, and then orders divided by sessions. Oh, wait, orders sessions.
Well, let me try this. So if I take 1 divided by the conversion rate, so 1 divided by 0.05.
I need to share my screen.
87. Go for it. So by my calculator, 17 clicks per sale, but that's clicks, not sessions. I know you're talking about sessions. So
okay. Let's do this now.
Share your screen, and I'll bring it up.
Yes. I'm an engineer. I have to do this.
And then I think this might end up being our last question.
Our last one. Okay. So you have sessions, you have clicks, you have unit session percent, you have units. You already have sessions, so I'm gonna move units up here. Okay, so this is your conversion rate. So if you have 200 clicks, 100 sessions, 50 units, your unit session percentage or your conversion rate equals 50, which is going to be your units divided by your sessions. So you can also do sessions over clicks, which equals here, right? So 50% of your clicks turn into sessions. For example, obviously you put the real numbers. 50% of your clicks turn into sessions. Your conversion rate is 50. In this case, 50%. So let's say 10. This makes okay. So you sell 10 units. So your conversion rate is 10%. So if you're trying to see the different conversion rate for the different clicks, you can simply split test one of those things. So if you want let me look at the question again. He says, how will I know how many clicks are equivalent to my conversion rate? So yeah, I mean, you're documenting your total number of clicks and your total number of sessions. Now, if you want your conversion rate to be let's say 20%, you know that you need to drop your clicks here by half. So I guess, I mean, that's how I would do it, right? I would just like document the different. So here's the number of sessions. Here's the number of clicks. Here's the ratio sessions to clicks, and then your units that are resulting from a certain number of sessions. So yeah, like if I wanted like a 10% conversion rate, 200 clicks. If I want like a 20% conversion rate, I'm gonna need like 400 clicks, or yeah, no, I'm gonna need 100 clicks, because 100 clicks will equal 100 sessions, and that will result in 20 units basically, or something like that. I don't know, but
We're doing these equations on the fly here, so
yeah, it's yeah, a little bit of like a complicated thing. Maybe I don't understand the question correctly.
Well, here's one thing I've learned is that truly one of the best ways to do this too is so Lamborghini, which I love the name by the way. Go ahead and just pull up a spreadsheet and just start doing the math. Just ask yourself, what would your 8th grade pre-algebra teacher tell you?
Yeah, or
when you think
just
about divide,
ask, just call them up.
or just yes, call Miss Bray. I think that was her name, or whatever her name was back.
Call
then.
her up.
Yeah, call her up and be like, hey, remember me?
Hey, hey, professor, I have a question for you. So I have this number of orders and this number of clicks. Like,
What are
oh,
you talking
you just
about?
have to do an X.
Like, I retired 20 years ago. All right, so that was a lot of fun. So Mina, for folks who want to learn from you more or follow you, where shall they go?
Yeah, so my name on LinkedIn is Mina Elias. If you want that analytics sheet, hit me up. On Instagram, it's at the Mina Elias. And the website is triviumco.com, triviumco.com. You can also reach out there. So yeah, hit me up. Happy to help in any way. Thank you for having me, Kevin. I'm excited to be on the PPC Mastery Summit. Guys, it is $7, I think.
Well, we raised it to $9.99, so
okay, it's $9.99 because of inflation and the government. It's $9.99, and it's the best $9.99 that you will spend. I was actually driving home on Saturday from Newport Beach to Los Angeles, and I put on one of the sessions in the PPC Mastery Summit. It was actually the Convert More Clicks one.
Our most recent summit, yes.
Yeah. So, guys, I mean, it's a ton of value. What I'm going to share is I'm going to audit everything live and show you exactly what to do and how to fix everything in your PPC campaign. So, don't miss it. Don't miss out. It's really worth it.
Yeah, definitely. And so more information will be coming on that soon. So if you're on Mina's email list, I'm sure he'll be sharing it soon, as well as on Maximizing E-commerce and my Amazon guy lists. And you'll probably see some other familiar faces as well. So Mina, thank you for all you do for the seller community, sharing your knowledge. And it was a lot of fun, as it always is, hanging out with you.
My pleasure. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.